In this video, I'll show you how to use Hyperliquid. We have to connect to Hyperliquid with a crypto wallet, so I'll show you how to do that, how to get some money in here, and then how to make your first trade. I'll also leave a link to Hyperliquid down below in the description. If you click that, the wallet that you use to trade with will get a small fee discount when you trade. If you've got a crypto wallet set up already, then it's really easy to connect it. Just go to hyperliquid.xyz. You can use that link in the description to go through to this page as well anyway. And then top right-hand corner, press connect. You need an EVM style wallet. So MetaMask, Rabby. Your wallet has to support the Ethereum chain and then the layer 2s like Arbitrum. Arbitrum is the chain that we're going to be using to get some stable coins into the exchange to go ahead and trade with. Hyperliquid want you to use that chain. So if you can use that in your wallet like MetaMask, Rabby, OKX wallet, etc., you can connect it here. So I'm going to connect my Rabby wallet. And then from here, if it's the first time that you're connecting to the exchange, it may ask you to sign a transaction, read the terms and conditions, and agree to them. So if it asks you to do that, go ahead, sign the transaction. That should be free. It doesn't cost you any gas or anything like that. You're just confirming that you own the wallet. So go ahead and sign that transaction. And then for me, I've already connected, so I'm just going to press connect, and then it connects my wallet to the exchange. If you don't have a crypto wallet set up yet, then I'll leave a couple of videos down in the description which show going through that. Takes a little while, like 5-10 minutes. You can set it up, and then you can come back to this point. I can't show you that in this video, it's off topic, but you need an EVM style wallet like Rabby or MetaMask. Just watch the videos in the description. You can choose which wallet is best for you. Now, once you have a wallet set up, which is free, what you have to do now is obviously deposit some crypto into your wallet. And once that crypto's in the wallet, you can then deposit it into Hyperliquid. When making a deposit into the exchange of money to go ahead and trade with, what Hyperliquid want is USDC. That's the main stablecoin that they use, and they're going to want that on the Arbitrum network. So that's where we need the USDC in our wallet. So just above my head, it says deposit. And you'll notice that they default to deposit USDC from Arbitrum. That's the network. You can deposit other assets. For example, if I choose the asset here, then I can deposit, for example, USDT, and I can deposit that on Arbitrum, as you can see. However, I'm going to deposit USDC. The reason being is that because they're different stablecoins, they're actually different markets. Now, if you go to the trading pairs up here on Hyperliquid, you'll notice that all of the major pairs are traded against USDC, and that's where the liquidity is going to be. So I highly recommend, really, just sending USDC in here and over Arbitrum. It's cheap and fast, and that's where they have a lot of liquidity. So I would recommend doing that. Now we need to get some USDC into our wallet on the Arbitrum network so that we can send it into Hyperliquid. So what I'm going to do is on-ramp some USDC into my wallet from my centralized exchange. So I've on-ramped some cash. Now what we need here is a little bit of ETH into our wallet, because we need to use the Arbitrum network to send the USDC into Hyperliquid. So I'm going to receive here. I'm just going to copy my wallet address. And then from here, what I'm going to do is paste this in to Binance. I'm going to buy $10 of ETH. That's enough to use the Arbitrum network for a long time. And I'm going to deposit that ETH into my Arbitrum network in Rabby. And from my centralized exchange, I'm going to make sure that I send that ETH over the Arbitrum network right here. So I'm sending $10 of ETH to my wallet and making sure that it's on the Arbitrum network. So go ahead and withdraw that. Then we're going to deposit USDC into Hyperliquid. So I need to get some USDC into my wallet as well. So I'm going to go and search here, USDC. I'm going to press this one. I'm going to withdraw to the same wallet address, and I need to make sure that that is also on the Arbitrum network, so I can withdraw however much I want to deposit into Hyperliquid. So what I'm doing is funding my wallet from my centralized exchange, $10 of ETH and as much USDC as you want to trade with. Send that to your wallet address on the Arbitrum network. Once you've got a little bit of ETH and USDC in your crypto wallet, you can now deposit it from there into Hyperliquid. So just above my head, press deposit. It's going to scan your wallet for USDC on Arbitrum. And you can see I haven't got any in my wallet. It's actually in Hyperliquid already. But you can transfer any amount that's in your wallet right into Hyperliquid. You can press deposit here. It's going to open your wallet. It's going to say deposit USDC into Hyperliquid. Do you want to do this? You can say yes, sign the transaction. Now, because you're sending USDC into Hyperliquid, you'll be using the blockchain, so you do have to pay a small fee, and that's why you need the ETH in your wallet in order to pay for the blockchain fee to send the USDC from your wallet into Hyperliquid. So go ahead and do that. Your wallet should go ahead with that transaction. Now, once it's in, you should be able to see right here on the left-hand side, down here it says balances. And you can see that I've got a balance of USDC. So I've already sent that into Hyperliquid to go ahead and trade with. So that's my total balance right here. Now from here, it's going to go right into your perps account. You can also transfer it to spot if you want to buy spot assets as well. Right here where it says transfer, click that. And this is an internal transfer within Hyperliquid, so it won't cost you any money, but you can switch the USDC from perps into spot or from spot into perps as you like. You can go ahead and do that. From here, I'll show you how to trade perps on Hyperliquid, which is what most people are going to be looking to do. Perps are a way to trade the price of an asset without actually buying it. So on the left-hand side here, you can see you can trade all of these different pairs, Bitcoin, ETH, and a bunch of others. You've actually got TradFi assets now, oil, silver, etc., gold. So you can trade them against, for the most part, USDC. You're not buying these assets. What you're doing is trading a perpetual future, which basically is a synthetic version of the assets that tracks the price. So all you're doing is taking a position on the price, either long, where you're benefiting from the price going up, or short, when you're benefiting from the price coming down. And the way that we trade is simply by using USDC, dollars, to margin our positions and put some money on the account to pay for potential losses in our trades. So you can go ahead and trade perps here if you want. Please understand perps and what they are and leverage and everything else. If it's not suitable for you to trade that, then don't go ahead and trade them. But from here, what we want to do is we've got the USDC in our account, so we can open trades here. And we have to choose the way that we are margining our positions. So margining simply means how many dollars do you have on your account to go ahead and open trades with? Because your margin, your dollars, your money, is simply there as an amount of dollars to pay for potential losses in your trades. That's the margin that you're putting up. Now, we can take leverage on top of our margin, meaning the trade size that we open can be a multiple of the actual cash that we have on account. So let's say I've got $1,000 in my account. I can open a trade size with the market that is $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. And that would be 2, 3, 4, 5x leverage on my cash. The reason the exchange will let us do that is that the exchange does not care what our trade size is with the market. It only cares how much cash we have to pay for potential losses in our trades. As long as we can pay for a potential loss, doesn't matter how big our trade size is. We have to manage that. So the amount of leverage that you're using is obviously extremely important because it relates to how much volatility to the downside that you can take before all of your cash gets wiped out and you lose everything. So for example, if you have $1,000 of cash and you have a $1,000 position, then you have enough cash basically to pay for that entire position and for it to fall 99.9% because you're paying for the entire position, right? If you've got $1,000 cash and you open a $10,000 trade with the market, you only have $1,000, which means that you can only afford a 10% drawdown in your open position before your cash gets liquidated and you lose it all. What will happen in that scenario is that let's say you have a $10,000 position and the position goes against you by 10%, you'll get liquidated, meaning that your cash will be used, your position will be traded out for you without you doing anything, your cash will be used to pay off the position, and that's it. So the amount of leverage you use is really important because it dictates how much volatility you can handle against your position. So if you use 10x leverage, you can only withstand a 10% drawdown. If you use 2x leverage, then you can withstand a 50% drawdown because you've got a $2,000 position, you can pay for $1,000 of it, so a 50% drawdown is what you can handle. So use leverage sparingly and just understand that the more leverage you use, the more risk that you have that position just gets wiped out. We can choose how we margin our positions, either cross or isolated. So you can choose that up here where it says cross, click this, you can choose cross or isolated. Cross margin means that the dollars that you put in your account are going to be used as value with all of your positions simultaneously. So let's say you have a Bitcoin position and an oil position and a gold position and an ETH position. You put $1,000 in your account, you open trades in all of those, then that $1,000 will be used to margin all of your different positions. That's like account margin, right? Cross margin everything. Now that means that if you have a couple of winners and they're making profits, Hyperliquid will use the profits that you have, known as equity, in those positions because you're making profits. Like if that position was liquidated right now, then you'd be making a profit. And so because that position is in profit, it is shown as equity in your account. Now, if you have a couple of positions that are doing really well, great news, you can use that equity in your account. Now, if you have a couple of positions that are doing poorly and losing money, they're obviously dragging down the equity in your account because if they were traded out and liquidated right now, they would obviously lose the money. And cross margin basically margins all of your cash and your profit and losses all together. So some positions might be winning and they may be paying for other positions which might be losing. And overall, you can kind of balance that out. Now, isolated margin, what it does is it reduces portfolio risk because each individual trading position has its own margin tied up with it, and it doesn't affect your other positions. Now, in this case, you have, let's say, a Bitcoin position and a gold position, and you have $1,000, so 500 in each. Well, let's say that the Bitcoin goes up a lot. That's great, but it's not going to be used as equity to fund a loss in the gold position, right? So isolated is a little bit more friendly for beginners who maybe you have a couple of positions which are really high risk and you don't want them to affect the other positions. And so you can do that. So maybe one position loses, well, you're going to get wiped out in that position, but it won't wipe out the equity that you have in other positions or use it. Cross margin uses all of your cash and equity to fund all positions simultaneously. We also have to choose the amount of leverage that we want to take in our trades. Leverage is simply the trade size in relation to the amount of cash that you put down. So if I choose 10x leverage, what that means is that if I open a $1,000 position with the market, that is 10x my cash. So I have to put $100 down. If I open a $1,000 position with the market with 2x leverage, I have to put $500 down into the trade, and so on. So you can choose this as you wish. Just figure out how much volatility you can handle to the downside in your trade. Now, this also is the initial margin that you use. So let's say you're opening a position of $1,000 and you have a 2x leverage. Your initial margin is going to be around $500. If you use 10x, then your initial margin is $100 for that $1,000 trade. However, this isn't your account leverage. If you come down here, you should be able to see that we have account equity and everything else. So the trade that you open, if you open one trade, then for the most part, your leverage in your account is going to be what your trade is. So you open a $1,000 trade with 2x leverage, 500 cash, your account leverage is 2x. However, if you have multiple trades open and you have account equity in here and everything else, then the actual account leverage may be different. So for example, if you have one asset or one trade that's winning and one trade that's losing a lot, your account leverage, because you're losing a lot of equity in your account from this losing trade, your effective account leverage goes up because you have less and less equity to fund the trades. If you have winning positions, which are giving you a lot of account equity, your effective leverage in your account actually goes down. Despite wanting to trade with 2x leverage, that can actually change on an account basis based on profits and losses. And also, if you're using cross margin, that can be affected simply by how much cash you have in the account. For example, I can open a trade with 2x leverage, 500 cash, right, $1,000 position. And if I'm using cross margin, I can add $500 into the account. And my effective account leverage now is 0, right? It's 1x because I've added cash to the account and it's cross margin. So my effective leverage goes down in that instance. But this just relates to the initial margin when you're opening the trade, right? So your initial margin when you open the trade, what do you want that to be? You can choose it. But your effective leverage on the account can change over time with profits and losses, or if you make deposits or withdrawals from the account. Now I'll show you how to open a trade and work out your leverage and where you want to be with that. So we're going to open a market order here and we're going to buy. And what you can do is choose between using the dollar amount that you want to trade or a fraction of the asset that you want to trade. I recommend using dollars, it's easier, right? And that goes for everything. So if we want to trade, for example, oil, you can, on the right-hand side, choose a dollar amount to trade, or you can choose a fraction of the contract here. I think it's easier to use dollars. So let's go back to Bitcoin. And right here, we've got this amount in our account. And we're going to choose USDC, and I want to open a $100 trade. Now, I'm using 5x leverage, as you can see here. And that means that that $100 trade is with the market. I'm using 5x leverage. So that means that cash, I have to put in $20. 20 times 5 is the $100 trade size. Down here, it actually says that. So we've got the order value, which is 100, and then the margin required, which is 20. So $100 trade size, 20 cash. That means that I can withstand a 20% downside move. If it moves down 20%, then my cash is gone. The position gets liquidated. I lose that money, and that's it. So what we can do here is go ahead and enter that position. So place order. Buy long, and that should come into our positions right here. So Bitcoin 5x, that's the trade size. You can see the position value and our entry price and everything like this. And so we have $20 available to margin that position. If you're using technical analysis as well, and you have areas where you want to get out of the trade, either to the downside to take a loss or to the upside, you can do that after you open the position. Right here it says TPSL. Now you can do it whilst opening the position as well. If you click this, take profit stop loss, then you can put them in whilst you're opening the position. You can do that, or you can just do it after the fact right here. So where it says TPSL, I'm just going to edit this. And these are my take profit, TP, and stop loss orders. Take profit, because I'm long, I benefit from the price going up. So what I can do is say to Hyperliquid, if the price goes up 20% and it works out the price, sell my order out for a profit. I can also say that if I make a 20% loss, then the price right here, sell out of my order for a loss. If you are using 5x leverage, that means that I'm funding 20% of the trade. So my stop loss has to be 20% or higher, because if I say to the position, stop me out at 30% loss, well, I'm going to get liquidated before that anyway, so there's no point doing that, right? So if you're using a stop loss, you can just say, get me out at 15% loss, or you can just use the leverage in the position to get liquidated at some point if you want to trade like that. For the most part, traders will have a stop loss price that they think, I'm going to get out at this price for a stop loss, and that's it. And you can either just take the loss there with a stop loss, or you can use leverage to make sure you get liquidated there anyway. So it's up to you. But if you're using leverage, obviously there's a lot more risk here of getting liquidated. In any case, you can set your stop loss and take profit if you want, and they will be tied to this order only. If you want to start trading out of that order manually, you can do that as well. So there's 3 buttons here. It says close all. That means close the entire trade out right now. You can close the trade with a limit order, so choose your price that you want to close the trade at, or you can choose a market order, and you can actually choose how much of the trade that you go ahead and close. So let's choose market, and it says, so you want to close the trade right now, so reverse the trade, right? We're long, so we're going to take a corresponding short position to close the trade. How much of the trade you want to close? And you can just choose that, and that will trade out that percentage for you immediately. You can also just put a limit price in here. So I want to close the trade at some limit price, please get out. Now, because I'm long, my limit price will have to be higher. If my limit price is lower than the actual price, then obviously it's going to trade out immediately for me, right? So you can choose that as well, or you can choose close all here. So let's just choose close all. Close at the market price, confirm market close. That will trade out of the order. Now that position is out. I'll also show you how to trade short. This is when you're basically taking a sell order. Now, because you don't own the asset, you're not selling it. But what you're doing is taking a short trade where you're short the asset and you're going to buy the asset back. And of course, you hope to buy it back lower so that you sell high and buy low. But you're selling first and buying back lower later, hopefully to make a profit. If the price goes up, then you're actually losing money because you sold the asset and you're going to buy it back higher. So what we do here is just press sell short. And again, we can fund the position with USDC. Now, what we can do here is choose an amount exactly the same. So this is the amount of cash we have. We're going to open a $100 trade. We can place the order. Notice it's exactly the same, right? So a $100 trade size, $20 down to fund it, place order like this. The only difference here is that we now have to buy back the trade at some point. And we make money when the price falls, and we lose money when the price goes up because we're having to buy it back higher. Again, you can choose the limit or market orders to close the order if you want. So let's just choose market order, market close, and we're actually buying the order back, and we don't have an order in now. Once you're done trading, if you want to withdraw your USDC, you have to send it back into your wallet, and then you can off-ramp it via your centralized exchange. You need the USDC in your perps account. So come down to withdraw, and you'll notice that it's withdrawing the assets from my perps account. If you have any USDC in your spot account, just transfer it over to perps first, and then you can withdraw it via the Arbitrum network. Now, there are options to withdraw over different networks and different assets. It gets complicated and slow, so I wouldn't recommend it. I just recommend having USDC in and out, and it's going to be easy that way. USDC over Arbitrum, press the amount that you want to withdraw, and press withdraw to Arbitrum. Your wallet is going to come up here. It's going to say, do you want to withdraw? Do you want to sign this transaction? Press sign, and they will send that USDC back into your wallet on the Arbitrum network. From there, you can send the USDC back into your centralized exchange. If you need some more in-depth trading videos, I'll leave some in the description. And if you want the small discount to Hyperliquid, that link is below as well. I'm James, Money DG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.